Mike Skinner leads the Winston 500 at Talladega. It's been an exciting event throughout the afternoon. 14 lead changes among now 5, 10, 11 different drivers. Been some great action at the front. The leaders overtaking Ernie Irvan's car, who has had a brake problem since a caution just a little while ago. Now contact between Marlin and Ernie Irvan. Irvan spins in the middle of the field into turn 1.
Backs up against the outside retaining wall. Car spinning to the inside. Dale Earnhardt. Other cars collected down right in the middle of the racetrack. It appears to be Ernie Irvan, who is hit by Mark Martin, one of the championship contenders. Michael Waltrip involved here. He spins in turn number 2. Drops to the inside of the track. Johnny Benson's got damage from this crash. He makes his way down the back straightaway. Also, Dick Trickle involved here in turn 2.
Hard crash in turn number 1 has brought out the yellow flag at lap 135. You could almost see that one coming as Sterling Marlin just made a little contact, and that's all it took. Quickly back to Joe Moore.
It knocked Ernie Irvan up into the outside retaining wall, Barney, right at the entrance of turn number 2 when he glanced off the wall, rear end first. He bounced him back down into the path of oncoming traffic, and one of the first of those was Mark Martin. Martin has tremendous damage to his Ford. He's limping down the back straightaway, and the melee then captured other cars coming into the scene. Dick Trickle, Johnny Benson, other cars still sitting on the inside of the track in turn 2, including Michael Waltrip and others involved here in turn 2.
Multi-car crash in turn number 2. By the way, Jeff Gordon beat Mike Skinner back to the yellow flag. Gordon is back on the lead lap. We see damage to Wally Dallenbach's machine. He comes to pit road. The hood is all pushed up on the Kevin LePage car, but the concern at the moment for Ernie Irvan, whose car took a tremendous blow when it came back off the wall across the racetrack in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Irvan, we just mentioned, was being overtaken by the race leaders when he and Sterling Marlin made contact going off into turn 1, and Irvan's car set about wiggling and he could not save it. It went up the racetrack and the wreck was on from there, and we see the caution flag for the 3rd time in the race at lap number 136. Let's go back to turn 2 and Joe Moore.
Ernie Irvan's car still sitting on the inside of the racetrack, Alan, just at the entrance of turn number 2. Safety personnel have come to take care of him there. There's one other car up against the wall. It appears to be maybe Buckshot Jones, maybe Ward Burton. Hard to tell from here. I can just tell it's a silver top to that particular car. Everybody else has been able to drive away with the exception of Dick Trickle. He still sits on the apron of the racetrack at the exit of turn number 2. But again, the most concern here for Ernie Irvan's condition, and again, safety personnel surrounding his car at this time.
Ernie's car bounced off the outside wall and came back down across the banking of the racetrack and was collected by another car that really slammed him into the side and shoved the car around about 4 or 5 times, and it did come to rest at the apron of the racetrack. As Joe said, the safety crews are there immediately. But it all started between Ernie Irvan and Sterling Marlin going off into the corner.
Here come the leaders to the opening of pit road, and they will make stops here at lap number 137. So Mike Skinner, the leader, followed by Dale Jarrett and others coming in. Let's go first to Winston Kelly.
Well, Dale Jarrett comes to rest in front of his crew. The crew going to work on the right side of the car. Here comes Bobby Labonte in the heavily damaged car of Mark Martin. The back end of the car is just sitting down on the tires. Looks like they've got a little bit of an axle problem. They're having to lift the car up. A lot of damage to the rear end of Mark Martin's car. He's rolled a little bit past his pit stop, so a lot of damage to the championship contender, Jeremy Mayfield. 2 tires, the first, down and away. Now to Jim Phillips.
Also in on this end, Joe Nemechek is in. Kevin LePage, a lot of damage to the front of his car. Wally Dallenbach continues to sit on the pit lane. Michael Waltrip was in a couple of laps ago with lots of damage to his Citgo Ford, having one of his best runs of the year. And farther down the pit lane, Kenny Schrader is back in now. He's trying to get more work done to his Chevrolet as Mark Martin turns to go behind the wall.
Marty Snyder.
2 right side tires for Jimmy Spencer, a 16.7 second stop. 4 tires for Mike Skinner, who almost made contact with Jeff Gordon when he left pit road. 4 tires also for Jeff Gordon.